There are a ton of things to love about roguelike games, but in one way or another, it usually comes down to extreme replayability. Whether you're battling demons in the underworld or defending your village in the sky, great roguelites succeed at captivating players run after run. Hello everyone, it's Khan here, and today we're talking about the top 8 new roguelites in 2024. Starting off at number 8, we have the action roguelite Windblown. This challenging Souls-like is being developed by Motion Twin, the same creators of the wildly successful roguelite Dead Cells. This time around, players will take control of warriors called Leapers who are tasked with defending their floating village in the sky. This fast-paced roguelite will propel you through a vast, ever-changing island with new secrets and challenges to uncover with each new run. Your warrior will have the chance to collect the memories and skills of the Leapers that have previously fallen in battle. This will in turn allow you to wield stronger and more complex weapons and skills. The combat seems really smooth, plus the art style and color palette really just make this game pop. And unlike Dead Cells, this game will be playable both solo as well as co-op. The devs have been very vocal in expressing that they are eager to take community feedback seriously when shaping Windblown, as the game hits early access on PC in 2024. Up next, we have the sequel to the half-roguelite, half-immersive sim in The Streets of Rogue 2. As the player, you set off on a dangerous mission to overthrow the corrupted mayor of a randomly generated city. But this game puts a huge amount of emphasis on playing the way you want. If you don't want to kill anyone yourself, that's fine. You can sit back, hack some computers, and let hired thugs do your dirty work. What if you want to be a gorilla that owns his own private yacht? Well, this game has you covered there too. There's just so much randomness, but in the best possible ways. Players will be able to choose from a ton of classes, a ton of gadgets and weapons, and will even be able to hijack cars. It almost gives me the same feel of a classic top-down GTA game. Another big feature in this game is the NPC's advanced AI. Your actions in each run will have consequences and will change the way the NPCs behave around you. Overall, I think this is a really cool concept for a roguelite. Setting off in a random city to do just whatever sounds fun to you in that moment, the game is just so versatile, and being able to experience it online with friends just makes it that much better. Streets of Rogue 2 has a planned release sometime in 2024. Next up, we have the co-op dungeon crawler Rotwood. Players will explore and fight through a maze of dense forests and deadly vegetation. Right off the bat, the gameplay reminds me a lot of Cult of the Lamb, which is a great thing because I had a lot of fun with that game. It seems like players will collect supplies and rewards through each run, which they will use to fortify their base and create new gear. In my opinion, this is a gameplay loop that works really well. A ton of roguelites take around an hour of non-stop action to complete a run, and sometimes they can take even longer than that. And don't get me wrong, this is a great thing. But in the case of Rotwood, or Cult of the Lamb, sometimes it's a nice change of pace to go out on a short 15-minute run, collect some resources, and then head back to base camp for 10 minutes to spend those resources and build a stronger base. There isn't a whole lot more information out at this point. The good news is that the developers have ran numerous playtests and seem to be working very hard for Rotwood's launch in 2024. At number 5, we have the cyberpunk roguelite BlazBlue Entropy Effect. This game throws players in a 2D cyberspace. Here, they will be seeking their last chance to resolve a crisis that has fallen onto humanity. This roguelite is unique in the fact that one of the game's major features is combos. It's essentially a cross between a Metroidvania and a fighting game like Tekken. The combos are huge and fill the screen with satisfying damage and particle effects. The game also currently features 10 playable characters, all with their own unique personalities and combat styles. This, with the combination of skill upgrades, elemental effects, and hundreds of moves, creates an infinite amount of possibilities for each run. BlazBlue Entropy Effect is currently available to play on PC as the game launched on January 30th. Next up, we have the RTS space combat game Homeworld 3. Now, this game isn't a roguelite from start to finish, as it will feature a linear story mode, but what has gotten a lot of attention is the new roguelite mode called War Games. In this mode, up to 3 players will work together to improve their fleets and to take on a randomized series of fleet combat missions. The game will also feature community mods, so hopefully this game will receive a steady stream of content from both the developers and players. Though I do enjoy playing real-time strategy games from time to time, personally, it's not my absolute favorite genre. But with that being said, I have never played an RTS roguelite before, and honestly, from the way this game looks, it's starting to sound really interesting. Homeworld 3 will be releasing on PC 2024. At number 3, we have another spin-off of a very successful game in Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. This roguelike is the developer team's take on the auto shooter subgenre. The original Deep Rock Galactic used FPS action combined with procedural generation to create an amazing wave-based survival shooter. This time around, the developers are sticking with a lot of what made the original game so fun. Randomly generated levels, destructible terrain, intense combat, and just the overall charm of the game with this team of space dwarves really makes for a fun experience. Players will descend deeper and deeper into an alien planet in search for precious minerals and a deadly monster. As the auto shooter genre name suggests, the weapons that you equip along your run will automatically shoot at your enemies, which in turn allows you to keep focus on mining those minerals and dodging the swarms of bugs. As of now, the game isn't a content powerhouse by any means, which makes sense considering the game's price tag of $10, but that doesn't mean it has low replayability. The 30-minute runs are diverse, the weapons and upgrades are plentiful, and the challenging gameplay is absolutely there. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor entered into early access on February 14th. Coming in at number 2, we have the open world co-op game Hyper Light Breaker. This is the follow-up to developer Heart Machine's beloved 2D game Hyper Light Drifter. This time, the developers are taking more of a 3D hack-and-slash approach with a lot of roguelite mechanics. Although this game isn't officially listed as a roguelite, it has a ton of roguelite inspirations. The game touts infinite worlds, endless layouts, and unlimited deaths. Even creative director Alex Preston says they're creating a rock-solid foundation executing on the absurd idea of a new open world for every run. And this is something I'm all in for. Players will get to unlock a wide array of abilities and weapons which will allow them to create unique and diverse builds. I mean, just looking at the gameplay alone has me really excited for this one. Fluid and smooth traversal, super vibrant environments and particle effects, and something about the combat just looks so fun and engaging. I'll be looking forward to Hyper Light Breaker when it hits early access in the first half of 2024. And finally, at number 1, we have the next entry to the godlike roguelike in Hades 2. This sequel has been highly anticipated for quite some time. In the first Hades, developer Supergiant succeeded in creating an incredible roguelike experience that allowed players to plunge through the underworld as the son of Hades. As the player, you build on your strengths through each run with the help from the gods of Olympus. This time around, you play as the princess of the underworld, who sets off on a mission to save Hades from enslavement. And you can expect the gods of Olympus to give you the same treatment as they did in the first game. These upgrades will grant buffs and abilities that will allow you to plunge deeper into the underworld, with the developer stating that the levels will be much larger and diverse compared to the first game. It really does seem that the developers are taking a lot of aspects that worked really well from the first game and building on them even further for Hades 2. The first Hades was actually the game that really sparked my love for roguelites. The whole concept of having the power of the gods to take on demons of the underworld really gives you the sense of feeling like a complete badass. Hades 2 is expected to release in early access on PC the first half of 2024. And that is our list of the top roguelites releasing this year in 2024. There is a ton to be excited about here, especially with a powerhouse sequel like Hades 2 on the horizon. But let me know which pick is your favorite, and if you're excited for an upcoming game that didn't make the list, I would love to hear about that too. Anyways, that's it for today. Thank you for sticking around, and I look forward to talking more video games with you next time. Have a good one.